Let's talk about iPhone 16. This year, iPhone 16 is going to be one of the biggest upgrades to the iPhone in years. iPhone 16 comes in two different sizes, as we've seen for a few years now. You can get it in 6.1 inches, which is the regular iPhone 16, or you can get it in 6.7 inches, which is the 16 Plus. It comes in 5 new colours: ultramarine, this one, teal, pink, white and black. From what I've seen online, ultramarine and teal seem to be the most popular colours. A lot of people like the pink one as well. My fiance, she's run off with the pink one, so we won't be featuring that too much in this video apart from a few unboxing shots. If you're looking for my thoughts on the iPhone 16 Pro models, you're not going to find that in this video. That one's taking a little bit longer and it's going to be coming up on the channel soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. So what makes the iPhone 16 so special? Well, brand new to this device is the camera control button. That's across all devices in the iPhone 16 lineup. This is a weird button. Apple refuses to call it a button, but it is a button because you can actually press it in. But more than that, it's got a capacitive touch surface which lets you swipe up and down on it. That's made from sapphire so it can absorb your touches more easily, and it's also pretty durable. Basically, what this camera control lets you do is when you're in the camera app, you can tap on the button to activate your controls. It's preset to zoom, but you can also adjust it so you can change your exposure settings, camera mode, photographic styles, and more. You swipe up or down to change whatever setting you've selected. This doesn't really give you any extra controls from what you could previously do on the screen. It's just more of a additional way to access it, something that's supposed to be quicker and easier. It's located down here on the bottom right hand side of the device if you were holding it. So it's perfect for landscape shots if you're holding a phone like this. You can still use it for portrait shots when you're holding your phone like this, but it might be a little bit harder to use the button, especially on these smaller devices. Camera control also enables a new feature called visual intelligence. Basically, if you've ever used Google Lens, this feature is pretty similar. You're going to be able to press the new camera control button and an interface is going to pop up where you can interact with real world objects. Basically, you'll be able to point your phone at the dog and ask Siri what kind of dog it is. Now this isn't live yet, but it's also not part of Apple's intelligence, which is coming in October and then later on. So it's a little bit confusing exactly when this is going to happen. Speaking of new buttons, iPhone 16 also gets the action button from last year's iPhone 15 Pro. Basically, this is a customizable button that you can map to do whatever you want. It comes with a few predetermined options. For example, you can use it just like the old ringer switch to mute your device, or you can map apps to it through the Shortcuts app. You can pretty much do whatever you like with it. For example, I've got mine set to open the Arc search browser so I can search for my voice when I want a little bit extra than Siri. Speaking of Siri, that's another big area where the iPhone gets an upgrade. Apple Intelligence. Apple says that the iPhone 16 lineup has been built from the ground up ready for Apple Intelligence. Now, slight caveat here, Apple Intelligence isn't actually available yet. It's going to be coming in October via an update called iOS 18.1. It's going to be a beta version. Right now you can get the pre-beta through the iOS 18.1 public beta, but Apple doesn't really advertise the fact that it's not yet available if you just buy the phone. If you take the phone out of the box, you're not going to get the new Siri or any of the other big Apple Intelligence features on the device. Apple Intelligence is basically a set of AI tools that are going to supercharge your iPhone experience. Like I mentioned, Siri's getting a big upgrade. It's going to have more contextual awareness about what's on your device. It'll be able to recall what people have sent you in your messages and take actions from there. For example, I'll be able to ask Siri to send me the photo that Jess texted me last week, and Siri will know exactly what I meant. Other changes to Siri that are live now is if you start pausing in a conversation, Siri will be able to pick up right where you left off. So if you stumble over your words, Siri's not going to get all confused like you used to. You've also got the new Siri animation which glows around the sides of your iPhone. It looks pretty neat and it was definitely time for Siri to get a bit of a design overhaul. Other Apple Intelligence features include writing tools, which is basically an AI-powered writing assistant. You can select text and it'll be able to summarize it or rewrite it for you in a variety of different tones, which you can select right there on your iPhone. Also new is Cleanup in the Photos app. This is a little similar to Magic Eraser from the Google Pixel phones. You can basically select something that's predetermined or circle or scribble around an element of your picture and Apple will erase it. Not just erase it, it'll use AI to fill in the gaps so it'll look like the thing you erased was never there in the first place. From testing it, the results can be a little bit mixed. Overall, I'd say they're pretty good, better compared to Magic Eraser, but they're still not quite perfect, especially if you want to start pixel peeping and zooming into your images. Speaking of zooming into your images, the camera is another big upgrade on this device. The main camera is now 48 megapixel and the ultra wide is 12 megapixel with autofocus. You're going to get a better low light performance than last year, and for the first time, iPhone 16 has the macro photography feature from the 15 Pros last year. Here, I'm going to put on screen a few sample photos I've taken with the devices. You'll notice that the cameras are pretty good, and the style is pretty much what we've come to expect from an iPhone camera. They look brilliant. When you're taking videos, the camera can shoot in 4K 60 frames per second with Dolby Vision, HDR, and spatial audio. What this means is if you've got a pair of AirPods or other spatial audio enabled headphones, you're going to be able to hear the sound as if it was around you. You can also now take spatial photos and videos designed for the Vision Pro and other AR or VR headsets. It's a bit of a novelty feature at the minute because most people probably aren't going to be using it, but it's nice to know that it's there if you do have one of these headsets. Another big feature to the camera is AI wind noise removal. This is not part of Apple Intelligence, this is just baked into the camera. What this means is when you're taking videos, your iPhone is going to automatically edit out wind noise, so you've got a better shot overall. You can also now play around with a new feature called Audio Mix. It lets you change the quality of the audio recorded by your cameras and pick from some different predetermined options for how it should sound. It's also going to help enhance this noise removal because you've got options to select audio that's only in the frame. So basically what your iPhone can see is what it's going to hear. Round front on the display, things are a lot tougher. Apple has said that the front display is 50% tougher because it's got a new version of ceramic shield. What this means is it's supposed to be twice as strong as regular glass, so if you drop your phone or scratch it or scrape it around in your pocket, the device is still water resistant as you come to expect, and it's got a brighter display that can crank things all the way up to 2000 nits. On the inside you've got the new A18 processor. It's got a 6-core CPU, which is supposed to be 30% faster than last year, and a 40% faster GPU compared to last year. You'll find hardware-accelerated ray tracing, support for Wi-Fi 7, and improved satellite connectivity for the emergency SOS feature. So, why is iPhone 16 such a big deal? Well, it gives you all of the Pro features from last year's iPhone 15 Pro lineup, except from the zoom lens. So that's a pretty big deal for the base level iPhone. The camera's got an upgrade, the A18 processor inside is better, and all the Apple Intelligence stuff that's coming is going to make this device even better, not to mention all the changes to the display. Now, what can you expect from this device in terms of battery life? When you're using the regular iPhone 16, I've been averaging around 8 to 9 hours of screen on time per day, and on the larger 16 Plus, I've been able to get anywhere between 10 to 12 hours of battery depending on usage. Of course, these phones are only about a week old, so they're not being broken in properly, but that's pretty indicative of what you can expect from these devices. Now, let's talk about a few of my big gripes with the iPhone 16. It's 2024 and Apple's still shipping the base level iPhone with a 60Hz display rather than the 120Hz ProMotion display from the iPhone Pros. That's pretty frustrating considering you can get a $300, $300 Android smartphone with a 120Hz display. Come on Apple, it's time to upgrade this. As I briefly mentioned, it's really annoying that all of the Apple Intelligent features aren't actually live on the device yet, when they're one of the biggest selling points. Yes, it's in beta, yes, it's coming around the corner next month, but unless you've watched the keynote or keep up to date with all the Apple news, you're not going to know this. You're probably going to be a little bit confused about why your iPhone can't do half the things it says it's supposed to do. And finally, the base storage on this device still starts at 128GB rather than 256 like the Pro models. Come on Apple, we just need a bit more storage than that. If you're looking for a new iPhone, the iPhone 16 is the one I'd suggest. If you're looking to upgrade from one of last year's models, to be honest, I probably recommend the 16 over the Pros, unless you're looking for the really specific photography features. It's actually pretty good value for money, where it starts at $799 for the 16 or $899 for the 16 Plus. Flagship Android smartphones are starting to creep up in their price, so this actually makes the iPhone 16 a pretty compelling price point. For example, the Google Pixel 9 starts at $899 and $999. And if you've picked up one of the new iPhone 16s or have one on order, I'll be doing a giveaway of some cases. I've got a variety of different cases for the 6.1 and 6.9 inch iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro Max. If you want to win one of these, just drop a like and a comment on the video, and in about a week's time I'm going to pick a winner. I'll DM you via YouTube, so make sure you're not hanging around in the comment section for any spam bots, and we'll get that shipped out to you as soon as possible. See you in the next one.